All right, I really hope the camera is centered. I'm using my phone, so I can't tell if it is. You know what really sucks when you record like half of a YouTube video and then you realize you actually weren't recording anything? So, yeah, I'm back for round two. Basically, this video is being inspired by a conversation I just had in my English class. In it, we were talking about social media, and specifically, we were talking about how to sort through the misinformation, disinformation, and real information on social media. And I think it's a really interesting thing to talk about, especially for people in my age group. I'm 19 years old, so I've grown up with this stuff. A lot of people my age have. And yeah, it's just important for us to really know how to do this. And listen, call me crazy, but I think the antidote might be just limiting social media use. It definitely has its pros. You know what I mean? It's a really powerful communication technology. So it's going to have pros, but it's also going to have a lot of cons. And one of those biggest cons is the spread of false information. So it's like you can sit there and filter through all this information to decide or to at least figure out what's real and what's not. But the reason why I think that is less realistic than limiting your social media use is because who the fuck sits down and opens up their Instagram feed to have a research session? No one. No one does that. You sit down to open up Instagram because you're bored and you want to see something that's going to make you laugh or whatever. And then you end up learning that World War III might start tomorrow. And of course, that's important information to know. You should know if World War III is going to start tomorrow, or else, you'd be kind of living under a rock. But there might be a lot of really wrong information on social media about the causes of it, who's in the right, who's in the wrong, you know what I mean? Like what the actual situation is, whether or not it's even true. All that shit could be completely wrong. And it's not even like something that you voluntarily got exposed to. It's like you opened up social media for a random other purpose, and now all of a sudden you're getting this information in your brain that seems really important, and it might not even be correct. So I guess the rational thing to do there would be to, actually research it and find out whether it's true or not, which, you should do if World War III is going to start tomorrow. I feel like that's pretty important. But no one really does that, and that's the issue. You just see something, and unless it's like really extreme, like if it's like super politically polarized and, really out there, then you might immediately be like, okay, this probably isn't true. But if it seems realistic, and it's just like one or two facts that got lost in the, social media game of telephone that are getting you now, and they're actually not true facts. They're false, but the situation seems believable. You're likely to believe it. So yeah, I don't know. If you've been following my channel or, just following my accounts or whatever for any length of time, you've probably noticed that I've drastically slowed down my uploads. And I kind of touched on this in the video I made earlier about why content creation is kind of weird. But yeah, that's kind of a major reason why I feel like social media just exposes me to so much more shit than my brain's meant to handle. You know what I mean? Like as humans, we've lived in like communities for our entire time being humans pretty much. And we've only had to care about the opinions of people that are within that community. We've only had to worry about the ideas that affect that community. Now I'm sitting here, thinking about some random motherfucker that I haven't seen in 5 years and what they might think of me because I posted something and they saw it. You know what I mean? Or I'm sitting here like worrying about some shit, like some minor shit happening on the other side of the globe that doesn't concern me at all. Like, I don't know. Ever since I've really cut back on my social media usage, life has just been way easier. It's way easier to be happy. It's way easier to be in the present moment. I've really been enjoying it, honestly. But yeah, like, I don't know. And if some news breaks out that's actually like really important and really might affect me, I'm probably going to hear about it from the people around me. You know what I mean? Like most of the news you get on social media probably isn't going to affect you. It's just like random shit happening that seems important because it's important to the people it is affecting in other places. But if it's actually going to affect you, you're going to hear about it. And I guess there's the argument that you're going to hear about it too late to do anything about it, which is a fair argument. You know what I mean? That's why you probably should be up to date on current events if you're not going to use social media. And I know I don't do that, so I probably should start doing that, honestly. But still, for me personally, I think the pros of not using social media greatly outweigh the cons of using it. And I realize the hypocrisy here because I'm making a fucking YouTube video right now. So I do realize the hypocrisy. But I don't know. I'm a person who likes to share things. So, especially things I create. So that's why I like to post songs. You know what I mean? That's why I'm sitting here talking to myself in my bedroom about this because I find it interesting. And this is a conversation that I would be having with someone in real life if I wasn't doing it to a camera. You know what I mean? And actually, that's an idea I have for future videos. I want to get some of my buddies in here and talk about shit like this on camera. I think that'd be pretty interesting. But yeah, it's just, this is just shit I think about. So that's why I'm using social media right now, as a matter of fact, just to share my thoughts. And I guess that's kind of a little bit dangerous too, isn't it? Because like someone I was talking to in my English class was saying that you could share something that doesn't even seem like a big deal, but to other people it is. And then it spirals out of control and causes way more drama than you ever intended it to cause. I don't know, man. It's just like one of those things that like you really just don't need that much. You know what I mean? And there seems to be like this movement of people that I talk to. At least these are the people I talk to in real life. So it's going to be a very limited community. This probably isn't the majority. But there seems to be like a little bit of a movement going against social media amongst people in my age group that I surround myself with. And I'm actually really happy to see that. But I do realize just how biased that statement is because the people I surround myself with are going to be people who are pretty similar to me. So, yeah, of course they're going to be limiting social media usage. You know, I feel like that's just the kind of people I'd be exposed to. But there probably is a whole bunch of people who aren't. And I guess maybe that's why I'm sitting here making this YouTube video is to kind of spread that message a little bit. Even though this shit's going to get like 20 views probably. But, if I can do something, I might as well. Yeah, I don't know. So that's probably some of the main reasons why I've stopped posting as much, or stopped being involved in social media that much. Just because I feel like it's not necessary. My life is a lot happier not using it. I don't have to worry about as much. And it might be like an ignorance is bliss kind of thing, where because I'm not exposed to as much information that's true, I don't have as much to worry about. That could be a possibility. But I feel like so much of the information is false that it's saving you a lot of headaches and stress, or it's saving me a lot of headaches and stress rather. And like another thing too is we all post these things like thinking other people care when they really don't, or at least a lot of the time they don't. Occasionally there's someone who will reach out to you that you haven't seen in a while, and it's cool to talk to them, and it's cool to see what they're up to. And it's cool to see, people you haven't seen in a while, see what's going on in their lives. And so sometimes people do care. And sometimes you care about the other people and what they're up to. But a lot of the time you don't. And I feel like the more you use social media, the less you care about other people and what they're posting. Damn, that pee just popped. But hear me out here. Like, think about it. The more you use something like Snapchat or something like Instagram, the more often you're going to be just clicking through people's stories, not giving a single fuck about whatever it is that they're posting. You don't care about the coffee shop they went to. You know what I mean? You don't care that they made a new song because you're using it all the time. Whereas for me, if I go on social media, if I go on Instagram, once for the first time in a month or whatever, once for the first time in a few months maybe, and I see what other people are up to, I'm like, yo, that's really cool. And I actually like take a second to look at their story, look at their post, and see what's going on with them. And sometimes, like I said earlier in the video, it can be overwhelming. It feels like you're exposed to more opinions than you should be. But other times it can be kind of refreshing. And I think that's kind of the best way to use it, if you plan to use it, is to use it very occasionally, because it is a nice way to keep in touch with people sometimes. But I feel like the more you use it, the more you take that for granted. That's what it is. Like if I'm using Snapchat all the time, I'm looking at people's stories, I'm just fucking clicking through them. I'm not stopping to look at no one's story. You know what I mean? I'm kind of just doing it just to get it off my feed at that point. And it's like, why are you doing that? Like you're just wasting time at that point. Whereas if you kind of just use it once in a while, then you actually show some interest in what other people are up to. And like the interest that you show and the thoughts that you have about these people you haven't seen in a while, maybe you care what they think about you because you posted something. I get that. Like I post a song and I'll see a bunch of people saw my story and they saw that I posted a song, and I'll be like, oh, this, person from 9th grade or whatever saw my song. What are they thinking about me? And like, That can happen, but if you're using it occasionally, I feel like it's way less stressful than if you're using it chronically. If you're using it chronically, you're doing that without even knowing that you're doing it, and that's when it becomes harmful. That is when, like, you can't even really recognize the fact that you're doing that. And you probably are. You're sitting there, you're looking at who looked at your story, and you're thinking, maybe it's a fuck ton of people. So you can't even look at everyone. But, you'll scroll through a bunch of people, and you'll be like, yo, oh, that's someone I haven't seen in a long time. Wonder what they're thinking of me. Wonder what they're doing. You know what I mean? And now you're thinking about this person who moved away like 10 years ago to a different part of the country or a different country. You're never going to see him again, but you still care what they think. And if you're doing that chronically, I feel like you're just focused on way too many people's opinions. As someone who barely uses social media anymore, the people whose opinions I care about are the people who I see on a daily basis. Not some motherfucker in France. You know what I mean? Like, I don't have to worry about them. They don't affect my life. Whereas the more you use social media, the more you seek validation through the screen, and the more important their opinion seems, even though it really holds no weight in your life at all. So yeah, I don't know. Overall takeaway, the overall message I want to convey is that social media is not like all bad. And it'd be kind of foolish to say that it is all bad. But there's definitely some cons you got to be aware of when using it. The misinformation, the comparisons, the waste of time, the mind-numbing content you can be exposed to. There's a lot of shit. You know what I mean? And I don't know. You just kind of have to take that into consideration. That is why I choose to use it sparingly. And I'm very happy with that choice. I will say for sure, life is so much easier when you don't use it that much. Like, you really start to enjoy life more. It's nice. Like, it's really nice. I can't lie. So, and it's cool once in a while to post some stuff, but like, it's really nice not having to think about it that much. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video. What time is it? Shit, I got to get to work. I recorded this thing in between a class and going to work. So yeah, I had to speed run this hoe, but I got it done. Can't wait to edit this and get it out. So yeah, you guys have a good day. I'll catch you next time. Fool.